Hello, this is Bryce on the floor coming at you with another tennis improvement video. Thank you so much for sitting in your film, and today we're going to compare you side by side Jack Draper to see how exactly you can improve these two aspects when it comes to your continental grip and your left to right movement. Okay, so Jack Draper is a left-handed player, so I think it's going to be really helpful for you to see how Jack Draper serves because he's a lefty and he's one of the best servers in the world. Okay, and fun little fact, I actually met Jack Draper in London when I was attending Wimbledon a couple of years ago. And he was a really cool guy. He was just hanging out with everybody at the bar, and it was a really cool time. All right, so let's take a look at Jack Draper's serve all together so you can see how this can all work together when it comes to your serve. Okay, so he's serving, and that's an excellent serve. It's really, really powerful. He has a great serve and really, really great technique. Okay, so now let's break it down to when it comes to grip swing body. Okay, so right now you can see he's starting at continental. All right, take a look at his hand here. Okay, he's holding the racket right at bevel number two. And one little test you can do is see if your racket strings are facing high, and then that's a good indicator that you're in the continental grip. Okay, and notice as we move further through his serve, those racket strings are kind of facing down when he's in the trophy, okay? And that's another indicator that he's in the continental grip, all right? So if you're just getting started, keep this in mind. You've got to make sure you're at bevel number two in the continental grip, all right? So now let's get on to the left to right movement, okay? So right here, Jack Draper is starting with the racket tip facing the side fence here, okay? All right, as he's starting the right to left movement, that racket tip's facing the side fence, okay? And then Jack Draper is moving the racket across, and then here is the left to right movement, okay? So the racket's going to start here and then move in a racket path to this direction, okay? Almost over the head, okay? And that's why we like to call this hitting off the birthday hat, okay? Because basically you're going to move the racket to this side point right here, and then basically just move the racket over the head, okay? All right, so I want you to pay attention to what is happening with Jack Draper's elbow, okay? Notice that elbow, all right? So right at this point, we have to move the elbow like this, okay? All right, kind of moving the elbow from that point to that point, okay? And that's going to put you in a position for you to go to a great racket drop and then hit that amazing serve that Jack Draper is doing, okay? So move the racket in a motion just over that head, and notice what's happening with that elbow, and that's the critical movement. All right, so let's take a look at your serve right here, okay? All right, so first things first, we need to work on that continental grip, okay? It's really evident right from the get-go to me that you're not in the proper grip because right here, the racket strings are facing down, okay? So you're probably in grip three, or I think maybe you could even be in grip four, or I think you're probably grip three, all right? And then notice what happens when you move right to left, and that's the thing that we need to improve. Your right to left or left to right movement as a lefty, okay? Because when you move left to right, that racket moves up like this, okay? And that's what we have to improve, okay? So notice Jack Draper, he's starting here, and the racket's moving like that, okay? Slowly, okay? And then here, your racket is immediately moving up, okay? And this is where we have to improve, okay? All right, right here, okay? And really, the why this is happening is that elbow position, okay? So let's take a look at that elbow. Okay, that elbow isn't, you're not really bending from the elbow, okay? We have to make sure we're in a similar position like here at Jack Draper and with how he moves that elbow, okay? Now that you can see this, let's hop over to our live review, and I'm going to show you a couple of drills with how you can get into a better conceptual grip and also how you can improve that elbow position and right to left movement.
Hello, Gerald. Thank you so much for sending in your film and showing so much motivation about learning tennis and getting this right. So I'm going to make a quick personalized video for you to improve your strokes, okay? So there's a lot of things that go into hitting a great serve, but right now we're just going to focus on two things: your continental grip and your right to left movement, okay? So you're a left-handed player, okay? So you're gonna count counterclockwise, but basically, as we spoke about before, all we need to do to find the continental grip is count our bellows. So we're gonna count 1 and then 2, and then right here, you're at continental grip. And then you wanna connect the knuckle and the heel pad to 2 right here, and then you're gonna be at the continental grip. All right, so it's a little bit tricky at first because you just learned it, but you have to be intentional and you have to be aware that you're hitting the continental grip. So if you have to do a little bit extra just to tell yourself, I gotta be at continental before I serve, that's what you have to do, because it's just a minor detail that you gotta get right to learn how to hit great serves. So now let's break down your right to left movement. Okay, so the right to left movement is basically the first step when it comes to hitting an efficient serve. We want to essentially move the racket over the head, okay? Now the problem is that when you go right to left, you move the racket like this or like this, okay? So you have a problem of basically going front to back and opening the racket here. But we don't want to open the racket, we want to keep the racket closed and then shave the hair and just take the racket over the head before we get into the racket drop position, okay? So one trick that you can do and one drill that you can do is put the ball in the throat of the racket, hold those racket strings down, and then go over the head like this, and then try to avoid that ball dropping out of the racket. And then you're gonna be at the proper right to left movement. All right, Jared, hope that helps, and I hope that helps everybody out there watching. This has been Bryce on the floor with another tennis improvement video. Like, comment, subscribe, and also if you would like a free personalized video just like this, click the link below, contact me, send me your film, and I'll give you personalized tips just like this. Thank you, and great luck out there in the tennis court.